All right, guys, once again, this is a CLNS Media Patriots Roundtable. I am your host tonight, Nick Quaglia, with Mike Molyneaux and Marv, Ezhan. All right, guys, Wild Card Weekend happened this past weekend. So let's take 3 topics out of it and just talk about it for a few seconds. The biggest one, probably, Cody Parkey. So break it down quickly. The Bears get the ball back. They're down 16-15. It's 56 seconds left in the game. Mitch Trubisky and that Bears offense marches all the way downfield. Sets up I believe it was a 43-yard field goal attempt for Cody Parkey, who's had a rough year, a rough season. 10 missed field goals to that point, 6 off the post. He lines up, kicks the first one through. He got iced. Hilarious edits with the Pepsi Ice commercial. And then his second try, he bounces it off of the field goal post. Miss, game over. Bears, who were my Super Bowl pick, out in the wild card round. Eagles move on. Nick Foles, that magic man, moving on to the next round. Guys, quick reaction to the Cody Parkey incident. Are people being too hard on Cody Parkey? Marv, what do you think?
They're not being hard at all, man. It was a 43-yarder. He had a chance to really win the game. Obviously, we saw that it got tipped, but still, 43 yards. You're supposed to get the ball up there. All he did was get booed. Obviously, this is a huge game. Professional, you have to make that. I don't know what he was thinking. Maybe it's magnet gate, because the way they hit the pole twice, there must have been a magnet on that football. It's so unfortunate. Either that or he was doing the bird box challenge. I don't know.
You're saying that all he was doing was getting booed. He was getting harassed online.
Marv's saying booed. I'm hoping that he made it home safely. I'm hoping that he got to wherever his residence is and could hide from the public, because he should have made that field goal. Obviously, he's had a rough season, but in a situation like that, and the kickers on NFL teams, they're the guys that, kind of fly under the radar. They're not expected to do much. They come on the field once in a while to make a kick and whatever. But obviously in a situation like that, whether you're a kicker, punt, I don't care who you are. It's the playoffs. You got to really lock into what you're supposed to do and do your job. I know you're the kicker. You're not the quarterback throwing the ball 30, 40 times, but every player on the roster needs to be locked in for a moment to make something happen. I don't want to be a Patriots homer here, but look at a guy like Malcolm Butler in that Super Bowl against the Seahawks. Who would have ever thought he would have made that play? But he's just locked in on what he's supposed to do with an opportunity on the field. That kicker has to make that field goal. That's just what it is.
And the crazy part is when he played for the Eagles, he was very good. He was a Pro Bowl kicker. Nice. And this year he got the yips, and you've seen the yips. The yips are real. I don't care what people say. The yips are very real. Like John Lester can't throw the ball to first base for the Cubs, which is asinine. Like a guy standing on the pitcher's mound can't throw the ball to first base. He takes the glove off half the time and flips it over to first base. Like the yips are a real thing. People have to boo this guy. It's part of sports. You signed up for it. Maybe not tell him to kill himself. I've seen that way over. That's a little overboard.
So that's extreme.
Don't tell the guy to kill himself. Don't kill yourself, Cody Parkey, but
it's part of the game,
you deserve the boos. It's part of the game. You know what you signed up for. When you miss in a big moment like that, kickers' jobs suck, because if you miss like that, like Cody Parkey did, you were screwed. You were going to be harassed.
If you make it, you're a hero.
Adam Vinatieri is a hero.
Yep.
Adam Vinatieri is a legend. And shout out to Eagles fans too for sending him 3 points for all points left on the board, or $3 over Venmo. Laugh out loud, funny.
Wow.
Next, did John Harbaugh leave LaMar Jackson in the game too long? Should have even went to Joe Flacco. Marv, what do you think?
Are you guys still there? I feel like I lost. No, okay. You guys
we're here.
Harbaugh should have brought in Flacco. He should have brought him in at a point where the game was looking like it was going too far. I mean, LaMar Jackson was just fumbling the ball way too much. After the last fumbles, it's time to be like, okay, my rookie right now, he just doesn't have it. let's go to our next best option, and it's Flacco. Is Flacco a great quarterback? No. Obviously, he didn't get his job back because of LaMar Jackson, but you got to do whatever you can to try to give your team any type of boost, any way possible, and Flacco should have came in the game. You know, I love LaMar Jackson. I think he has a bright future. He showed me something later in the game, you know, trying to come back for his team, but he was just it looked like the moment was a little too big for him early on, fumbling, not being able to handle the ball and everything like that. Flacco should have came in the game.
Mike, should he have pulled LaMar Jackson?
Absolutely. I think Marv just said it best. The moment might have been a little too big for LaMar Jackson. I think coming into the game, he's the youngest quarterback ever to start a playoff game. And obviously, it could go two ways. He could be the youngest quarterback to ever start a playoff game and have a hell of a game to lead his team to a victory or play a solid game, or you could be the youngest quarterback and just have the lights be too bright for you. And I think that's what happened to LaMar Jackson in this situation. They should have gave Flacco the ball to start, you know, use his arm, use what's carried Flacco. Yes, he's not one of the top quarterbacks or greatest quarterbacks to ever play, but he has a better arm at this point in time, I feel like, than LaMar Jackson in terms of getting the ball down the field. They should have put Flacco in the game, and maybe they would have had a chance to get back into it a little earlier than the little late run that the Ravens had. But Harbaugh screwed up and not making that move.
Yeah, you have to, especially in a playoff game like that. Like, you're on the verge of being blown out. You have to bring in the guy that who has been there before, mind you. The guy's a Super Bowl champion. People used to talk about
MVP.
Is MVP. People were like, is Joe Flacco elite? No, he's never been elite. But you got to bring the guy in at some point in that game. Again, you're on the verge of being blown out. You got to make that change earlier. So just in case you actually do have a chance to come back. All right, guys. So the last one is the Bears-Eagles incomplete pass / fumble. So it was a weird scenario. So this is what happened. Anthony Miller catches the ball, gets it ripped out by Trayvon LeBlanc. Ball is ruled incomplete. The play goes into review. The ball was then judged. It was a catch. That's basically what they ruled, that it was a catch. But because the ball was never actually picked up by any player, and instead it was picked up by the ref, and the players did have a chance to pick up the ball, they had to go back and call the ball an incomplete pass because there was no clear recovery. So they have to go back with the original call. Guys, what do you think about that? Is that a dumb rule, or what do you think? Marv, what do you think? Is that a dumb rule?
It's not a dumb rule. From Pop Warner, you are taught when the ball is on the floor, you pick it up even when the ref blows the whistle. It's not something that you need to get coached in the NFL. Obviously, the NFL coaches coach that as well, but that's something you learn from when you're a little one. I remember hearing that all the time. Make sure you pick up the football because you just never know. With all the reviews and things, anything could happen. Someone should have got the ball. Anyone, especially if you're the one who stripped the ball out of his hand, pick up the football. They just let it go. It's unbelievable that 22 players just let the ball just stand there and the ref had to pick it up. And that the only logical thing you could do after that is just call it an incomplete pass and go again. I don't see any other way that you could change that.
Mike, before we get to you guys, let me tell you that today's Patriots Roundtable is powered by our friends at 1in100. Go to 1in100.co, not .com, for your chance to win killer Pats, Celtics, Bruins, and concert tickets in New England for the price of a beer or a large pizza. Go to 1in100.co right when you're done watching this Patriots Roundtable. All right, Mike, what do you think? Is that a dumb rule, or does the rule make sense?
I'm going to bring another baseball reference into this scenario here. Obviously, you know, the ball was stripped. Was it a fumble? Was it an incomplete pass? You know, the Eagles were in two different minds of what it was. But again, like Marv said, since Pop Warner, you're taught to go after the ball. In baseball, when a ball is hit, you're always taught to run it out to first base, no matter what, because who knows? The ball could be thrown away and an error could be made, and you can make it to first base safely. Even if it's a nice, soft infield hit, they always say, hey, run it out to first base. Similar to this situation, go after the ball and pick it up. So the rule, yeah, can it be seen as a dumb rule or whatever? Pick up the ball. You don't know what's going to happen. We've seen over and over, guys will pick up the ball and run like 40, 50 yards down the field while the ref is still on the other side of the field waving off like, hey, it's an incomplete pass, it's not a fumble, whatever. Guys are still, you know, full speed to the end zone just in case. Who knows? Here's a situation where the Eagles should have made that happen, pick up the ball, and, you know, it could have been a slightly different game. Obviously, the Eagles still came out with the victory, but pick up the damn ball and just wait till the ref makes the official call.
See, the thing is, the Patriots are picking that ball up. That's just how the Patriots, anytime one of these weird, obscure rules comes up, it always goes back to, that Bill Belichick has the Patriots trained to do that. Rodney Harrison, I think, said that. He was like, yeah, that's just what you do. You pick up the ball. You're also always told, though, to play to the whistle, and there was a whistle. I know you got to pick up the ball, but it's just a funky rule because once the whistle's blown, in your head, the play's dead. So why are you going to do anything else? So I guess it's how you're taught, but it's a weird rule. I don't really like it that much.
The thing about this play, though, this is so rare. Yeah. This is one of the most rarest things you could ever. So I get it. I get why it happened. But now, like you said, this is a teachable moment. I know the Patriots are going to harp on this. Every team that's left in the playoffs are going to harp on that. Just make sure you pick up the ball. It's very rare that something like that happened, but it happened.
And it's like that play a couple years ago when I think it was a Seahawks defender slapped the ball out of the back of the end zone, and it's a safety or a touchback, whatever it was. I just remember them talking to the Patriots the next day, or reporters asking them, the Patriots being like, "Yeah, we know the rule. We would not have done that because we've been taught the rule."
Right.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching another set of CLNS Media Patriots Roundtables. I'm your host, Nick Quaglia, with Mike Molyneaux, Marv, Ezhan. Guys, make sure to catch them after every single Patriots playoff game. Patriots CLNS Media Postgame Show Playoff Edition. Make sure you catch them after every single game. Once again, Nick Quaglia, Marv, Ezhan, Mike Molyneaux. Guys, thanks for watching CLNS Media Patriots Roundtables. We'll talk to you next week.